What's poppin'? It's Mello back at you with another video. Today we're gonna be going over something that is gonna be revolutionary for you when it comes to your R&B if you don't know it, and can also help you when it comes to making all types of smooth chord progressions, sensual music, jazzy music, rock music, whatever you do, EDM, all that. This is gonna be the secondary dominant. We're gonna go over it. I'm gonna break it down. So we just gonna get straight to it. Please put a like on the video. Let's go. So what we have here is a C major scale. You should be aware of how chords work and things like that. I have chord progression tutorials and just chord tutorials and stuff like that. One of the things that I talked about in my chord progression tutorial is that the root note of a scale, which would be in this case, that is known as the tonic. When you get to the fourth degree, F, that is a subdominant. When you get to the fifth degree, that is the dominant. So the dominant of C major is G. Now, in major and minor keys, they're going to be the same notes. These two notes will still be there. So with that, we know that the fifth degree in a major scale is the dominant. Let's take that G and build a major chord. We're going to put the C major scale behind it so you can really get the gist. So all the light gray notes are the C major scale, just so you know. And if you want those for free, you can go and get the scale helpers on my website. The link is in the description, all that good stuff. But you know how to build a basic triad. So that is a major chord. Now, this is the important part. This is one of the important parts to this understanding of the first part. So the important thing that separates this chord from other chords is when you make it a seventh, it has a minor third. Now that's what separates it from other major chords. Because if we go down here, that's a C major chord. When we add a seventh, it goes right there. But let's count very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 semitones up. That would be a major third as far as intervals. But when we go to this one, this is still a major chord right here. But 1, 2, 3. 3 semitones up. So that's what makes it different. So when you look at that, that is a dominant 7 chord right there. That is a dominant 7 chord. So sometimes when you look up chord progressions, you'll see a capital V and a 7. That capital V represents a major dominant chord and a 7 represents a 7th chord. And another way that it'll be listed, if you're looking at actual chord names, this right here would be a capital G and a 7. That's how it would be notated. And just so you don't get it confused, and this is just as far as notation if you're reading stuff like that, a G minor 7th would be a capital G, lowercase m, and then a 7. A G major 7th can be notated like a capital G, M-A-J right after that, and then 7. But when you see just a letter capitalized and a 7 next to it, that represents the dominant 7, which should triple down on it. That is the 5th degree major chord with a minor third. This chord that you're looking at right now. And the one thing that I need you to know, yes, the 5 chord in a minor is still dominant, but I want you to know in this context that we're talking about, once we move forward, whether we're dealing with a major or minor scale, when we talk about dominant 7th chords, it's always a major chord with a minor 7th. That's what it is. So I'm gonna take you back a little bit. As far as the dominance function, again, the 5 chord, or in this case, the G, in a C major scale, its primary function is to bring you back and resolve to the tonic. That is the thing that it does best. So in this case, the tonic, the root, is C. So that's what you get. So we're back in the C major scale. Now this is how I'm going to explain this. When we're in C major, the dominant is going to be the 5th scale degree, which is G again. But let's take a random note out of here. Let's take the 6th, which is A. Let's build a chord off of that. That is a minor chord. We're going to erase everything. Now, let's just forget that we're in the C major scale. Let's just forget it. Let's delete everything. The question I'm going to ask you, what is the 5th degree of an A major or minor scale? I'm going to show you an easy way to find that out. If you have a regular triad, major or minor, the 5th is going to be the 5th degree. Wow, it all connects. Wow. The dominant of A, whether it's minor or major, is going to be E. So knowing what we know, let's build a dominant 7th chord off of that E very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be a major third. 1, 2, 3. That's a minor fifth. 1, 2, 3. Now that's another minor third. Let's make this a seventh chord as well. So remember, as far as the fifth degree, it wants to resolve to the 1. Let's take this and put this chord, this A, behind this one. Now let's listen to them together. Boom, so it resolves. Now that you understand everything that I just mentioned, now we're gonna bring all of that together full circle, and I'm gonna show you what it actually is in context and how you can apply it. So I said let's forget that we're in C major, but I put the C major notes back in there just to let you know one of these notes is not in the scale. So you know what a dominant is. A dominant is basically the fifth degree of the scale, and a dominant chord is built off the fifth degree of the scale that you're in, and et cetera, et cetera. A secondary dominant is when you take a major or minor chord that is not the tonic in the scale that you're in, and you build a dominant 7 chord in relation to that chord that you picked. And then in most cases, you place that dominant 7 chord in front of the chord that you picked. And it's going to give you a unique resolution because the chord that you just made is not gonna be in key. So basically it's a type of modulation. And what a modulation is, just to give you some more game, a modulation is basically when you use chords that are not within the scale. Just as a quick side note, if you are looking at chord progressions and you see V with a slash and then another number, and it's a Roman numeral, that translates to 5 of whatever the Roman numeral is, and that's basically indicating that it's a secondary dominant. The V represents the dominant, and then the other number represents what chord it is based on the scale degree of the scale that you're in. So I'm about to show you something real nasty. If you want to be honest, this is about to be crazy. This is gonna be really dope for you. Strap in. This is what it is. So we have right here is a 4-2-6 progression. That is in the scale of C major. We're still in C major. I recommend doing this before minor chords because it always sounds good. I'm gonna give you a few gems in this. It's good to use a secondary dominant as a passing chord. This chord right here is gonna be the target chord, the A. I'm gonna chop this one in half. Let's erase all of it. Now that we carved out this space, what is gonna be the dominant fifth of an A? It's gonna be E, just like we did last time. We're gonna build it out again, and it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's out of key, but it's still gonna sound good. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Boom. So let's play it now and see how it sounds. That's very silky. That's very silky. Before I get into voicing this, I want to show you a quick trick. Now I'm about to show you a shortcut on how to make these. So this is what you do. If you watch my diminished chord tutorial, you notice already when you're going to a minor chord, a good way to do a passing chord is by putting a diminish right under the passing chord by 1 semitone. So we have the A right here. You put a note right under that. Now that's not in key. That's cool. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's listen to that very quickly. What do you do after that? You can go one of two ways. It's gonna land you in the same place. You go 1, 2 and transpose this down, or you could just put a note 4 semitones below it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you do that in front of a minor chord, wow, you get a secondary dominant. So you got two choices. You could either, or it's dope. It's dope. I'm giving you the saucy sauce right now. I don't know if you noticed, like cats ain't really giving no like. But now after that, you can just get crazy with the you could get crazy with the voicings. You could do all of that. You could put all this down here, and now we could just boost these up. We could do some. And then put another C back up there. And now look at it. Now we got some voice leading going where everything flows into each other very well. I taught you about this in a chord progression tutorial on how to just voice your chords and stuff like that. Let's do up. Hey man, I'm feeling good and I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling good and I'm feeling generous. So we got this 4 chord right here. Now remember, we're in C major. We're in C major. This 4 chord is not a tonic chord, but it is a major chord. We could still do a secondary dominant in front of the major. So this is what we're gonna do. This is the first chord. The 4th scale degree is F. Even though we put it way down here, it's F. What we're gonna do, what is the 5th of F? I'm gonna show you a different way to do that. We're not gonna build out a chord. We will just count up 7 semitones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From C, let's just build a secondary dominant. So, hey, we're in a C major scale. That's cool. So we got a C chord right there, C major chord. But one more thing, 1, 2, 3. Got to put the minor 3rd on top of it. So now let's listen to everything. It gives you a real good sound. Now I'm just going to give you a little bit of game right here. You know, if you don't want to do that, if you want more tension, if we wanted to be more crunchy, more tense, we could just use the root note from the diminished chord right there as far as the top 3 notes and then just erase the bottom note. Let's listen to how that sounds very quickly. See, it still works. So with that, now you should understand secondary dominance. You should be able to put it in your music. So I'm going to be coming at you with more tutorials soon. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you got any questions, you know, all that good stuff. But other than that, I'll see y'all another day. Somehow, some way, I'm out.